Hello and welcome to Me, the Wife and Wrexham AFC.
A weekly podcast and YouTube channel where we discuss all things Wrexham.
So sit back, put your feet up, relax and let's get stuck in. Hello and welcome to episode 165 of Me, the Wife and Wrexham AFC. No game this week.
Boo.
Boo. International break, so I thought I'd throw the Wales shirt on because obviously they played the other day. We're filming on Saturday today because we thought, why not? Why not? Because there's no game on, no championship games at all, no Premier League, a little bit of League One and pretty much full complement of League Two. So we thought we'd do Saturday, have a Sunday free again. Nice, isn't it? Done a bit of shopping today, bought some cushions. I should do, you know. But on this week's show, we're going to round up all of the deadline day transfers for you, who came in, who left, and we're also going to look ahead to our game with QPR on Saturday. And a few other bits and bobs as well. Quiz, of course. The squad list was announced. We'll have a little chat about that. And a few other little bits of news. So, yeah, a lot to get through, I'd say. On a week, which is bizarre, really. On a week where there's no game, there's quite a bit to get through.
Yeah, but it was like the last day of the transfer window, wasn't it? So it's not as if nothing's happened.
No. So let's have a chat about the outs first. So we had Tom O'Connor. I think he was the first to go on deadline day. So he's gone. I think there was rumours he was going anyway, wasn't there?
He's only gone on loan, though.
Yeah, he has only gone on loan. He's gone to Peterborough for the season. Can you see him coming back and making any sort of impact?
To be fair, unless you're amazing, like smashing in 120,000 goals, I don't think you're coming back.
No, a few of them have. We seem quite reluctant to sell people at the moment, which is strange. They're either going on loan or we're terminating their contract by mutual consent so they can go and find another club without having to sell them and get a fee for it.
Because it's probably more trouble than it's worth, because the ones that have left by mutual consent are in the older age bracket.
Yeah, they are, but I think we could still be selling them. You know, I think we probably could have offloaded maybe. Ollie was out of contract though, wasn't he? Pretty much. I think he only have a year left. But I think you can still get money. There's certain players you could still get money for, but we seem a little bit reluctant to do that for whatever reason. I don't know. So, yeah, sad to see Tom O'Connor gone. Obviously, he was one of the back-to-back crowd. And, you know, he really did a job for us. Came in as a midfielder, dropped back to be a defender, central defender for us. So really did a job, really got us through. Sad to see him go. Talking to Peterborough, another one who's gone to Peterborough, followed him a little bit later in the day was Jacob Mendy.
Yep.
So he's gone on loan as well until the end of the season. Sad to see Jacob go.
Yeah, I think Jacob was, you know, when he played, which was very, very rarely.
It was later on, yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah, he always put 110% in on the pitch. He was, you know, he used to run a lot, and yeah, I think he will be. Well,
you made him sound like a whippet then.
Yeah, well,
just you know, he did a lot of running.
No,
yeah.
Ollie Rathbone's the whippet of Wrexham.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird because Tom and Jacob, like not so much Tom actually, because he did play like in the latter end of last season, but Jacob not really. So for me to say I'm going to miss them, there's not really anything to miss because they haven't really made an impact on the game.
No, I suppose
in recent history.
I suppose with Jacob, because I always remember his goal against Notts County.
Yeah.
And that was always, I think we did goal of the season. We did like a goal of the season thing, and that was yours, wasn't it?
Was my favourite goal.
And I think a few people are like, well, why? But I think all in all, I always like, you know, there's times when commentators, when something's just happened, they go, that's the best thing that's ever happened. So they see a goal, and then, you know, in the punditry, they're like, it's the best goal I've ever seen, or it's the best save I've ever seen, or the best game I've ever seen. For me, I don't like saying that as soon as I've seen something, because I'm one of these who likes to let the dust settle a little bit, wait a year or two, and are you still as excited about that goal as you were at the time? And I think that's the point when you can sort of go, yeah, do you know what? That is one of the best I've ever seen. Now, Mendy's goal isn't one of the best I've ever seen, but there was something about it. I will 100%, I will still to this day take my hat off to you and go, do you know what? There is something about that. And I think there was so many better goals than his that season that just don't feel the same as that one did. And do you know, I think commentators don't get enough credit sometimes, because I think commentators make goals better with commentary. And I think
Mark Griffiths, definitely.
This is sorry, Mark, but this wasn't Mark Griffiths. This was because this game was on BT Sport. So I can't remember the guy's name who's on BT Sport, but it was his commentary that sort of, I don't know.
It was just that screamed.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was so. It was everything about it just made. I don't know. It was like a goosebump sort of thing when you watch it back and you remember it, and it was. Yeah, it was great. So I think I'll always remember that about Jacob.
My dad likes Jacob Mendy.
Yeah,
he thinks he's a good player.
It was just one of them, though, wasn't it? We've signed Kakache. We've got James McLean.
Ryan Longman. Oh, he's more that side, isn't he?
No, you're not wrong. We will talk about that a little bit later. I think you're very much, you've got your Kakache, you've got your McLean. Longman can sort of do both. He can do left and right, but predominantly we're playing him on the right. Well, pretty much all the time we're playing him on the right. But Mendy was sort of very much behind Kakache and behind McLean. So I think it made sense that he went somewhere to try and get some game time.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't going to get it unless Kakache went down injured. McLean would probably step in and Mendy'd be the backup. And then maybe if, you know, as and when McLean got a ban, then, you know, Mendy might say, but
as and when McLean's never got a ban, has he? In the time that he's been with us,
yeah, he got banned he got 10 yellow cards, didn't he? So he got yeah. So so I think it was probably the right time for Jacob to move on. George Evans, another one who went on deadline day, left again by mutual consent. He joined Burton Albion.
So along with 4D and JJ,
he's the fifth in I think this fifth year Wrexham player who's joined Burton Albion. So yeah, you're right. Anthony Ford, JJ obviously went to Burton Albion. Was that this year, last year? I can't remember.
Mofal? Where's he gone?
No,
to?
Mofal went to Port Vale. So Seb Revon went to Burton Albion. John Daddy Bodvarsson left us to go to and went to Burton Albion. Fleur obviously left us and went to Burton, back to Burton. So, but yeah, George Evans is the fifth player. I'm going to say this year because I can't remember when JJ went. If it was this year, as in calendar year, or whether it was last year. But certainly in the last 12 months, George Evans is the fifth Wrexham player to head over to Burton Albion. So we've obviously got, you know, I dare say when Fleur was with us, maybe she built a bit of a bond and relationship with Burton Albion, which has continued after she's gone, perhaps, which is why so many players seem to be flowing over to Burton. But yeah, look, good luck to all of them. I think the last one. Sorry, we didn't really talk about George. I think George Evans very much falls in the same camp as Jacob and Tom, really, where it's like you're not going to get much game time. All the midfielders, good, solid championship midfielders that we've signed, I can't see George Evans getting in much. He's a great player. So I'm glad that he's gone and he's going to find, he's going to get some game time. I think the last one for me is the one I want to talk about the most, because it's Owen O'Connell. So he left on Thursday, actually, he left. So after the sort of deadline day, there was rumours that he was going to go to Wycombe. Mm-hmm. And I think a deal taking him to Wycombe fell through. And then on Thursday, we've terminated his contract by mutual consent. He can go out and find another club. At time of recording, there's nothing. So we haven't heard that he's gone anywhere. How do you feel about Owen O'Connell going? Because, we have signed a bit of depth that you could argue is ahead of Owen O'Connell in the central defensive sort of positions. How do you feel about Owen going versus, let's say, Dan Scarr? So, it's very much, I felt one of them two were going to go. Mm. Do you think would you, I'm not going to word it as would you have rathered Dan went, but what I mean is, are you surprised it's Owen that went over Dan Scarr, or is it either or one of them had to go?
Well, I mean, Owen left on by mutual consent, so obviously he may have thought in himself, personally, I'm not getting enough game time. I feel like I could be contributing more to a team. So with him leaving, I don't know, really. I just...
It's a good point you make, though, because I never really think of it like that. I always think of it as sort of the club's decision.
Well, no, it's but
you are very right. He could have gone, do you know what? This isn't for me anymore. Yeah. Because I want to go out and I want to be playing week in, week out. Fair point, I suppose.
So yeah, I think if that is the case, if he has gone to the club and said, look, I want to be playing. I know I'm not, with all these players that you've brought in, I'm not going to get as much game time. Could we terminate my contract or whatever by mutual consent? Or that's what we'll tell people. And then, because sometimes
you're never convinced by mutual consent, are you?
I'm not. But in Owen O'Connell's kind of situation, I very much do believe it was by mutual consent, because he's still got so much to give. And if he can't give it in at Wrexham, he will want to go and explore other avenues. And I think, he's a great player. And, I've seen him a lot more than I have Dan Scarr. And they're two very different players. So to say, I know you didn't say would you rather, but for me to kind of say, well, I'm glad Owen's gone and Dan stayed, or I wish Dan had gone and Owen had stayed. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I don't really know. They're both two different players, and obviously Parky sees something in Dan Scarr, because there was loads of rumours going around that Dan Scarr was leaving.
Yeah, there was. I think the Rotherham kept on popping up in lots of conversations. So,
but we haven't heard anything else about that.
No. And I think, like I said, I think it was very much either or. I very much think we needed to keep hold of one of them.
Yeah.
And we've done that, and one's gone. So
we would like to know what your opinions are. Well, obviously, Owen's gone. Dan stayed. Right decision? What are your opinions on this little scenario?
Yeah, I
can't do anything about it, but
No, not at all. I'm just gonna sorry. Sorry, I'm just going to tighten your mic up because I can see that you're. Yeah, I could see you struggling with it, and it kept flapping this way. So I thought I'd just tighten it up for you. Is that all right? It's all right. I'm not going to edit that out. That's just it just is what it is. Yeah, I don't know if I'm. I think it shocked me a little.
Oh yeah, it shocked me.
But I think when I sat and thought about it, I sort of thought, yeah, it's probably about right. Really, it's another back-to-back-to-backer. Out the door as well.
Parky's being brutal.
Well, yeah, he has. Yeah, he really has.
But you got to be, I suppose.
Yeah, it's quite difficult when you go up a league. Obviously, when we talk about the ins, we'll talk a bit more about the squad and all that. And but yeah, he has been, and it's hard, isn't it? Really, because we've gone back to back, and there's quite a few players who have gone back to back with us. Obviously Ollie gone. Owen gone.
Tom O'Connor
gone. And it is difficult. It's not just about going one season to the next and, that player's not quite good enough. We've been promoted 3 times with certain players, and to then see them go, I think it makes it a little bit hard. Not harder necessarily, just, I don't know, it just sort of tugs at your heartstrings a little bit, I think, when players like that go. For me, Owen O'Connell was always a solid 7, 8 out of 10. Every game, he was
fit. Solid 8 out of 10.
No.
I know what you mean, though.
He was every time he played. He had a mistake in him. But,
everybody does.
Everyone does. And I think the Shrewsbury game was one that was a bit of a nightmare for him last season. And always very solid for us, dependable, played lots of games for us. I will always remember as well, weirdly, in the same game as that Jacob Mendy goal, is the goal that Elliot Lee scored, when he sort of did the little chip and chase. So he went to play it down the line.
Yeah.
No one ran for it, so he just ran for it himself and then got onto it. Again, that's another thing I'll always remember. So good luck to him. Lots of opportunity. I mean, I would be very surprised if Wrexham went on and got promoted this season. I think, we've spent a lot of money.
I think no, we can't.
No, we've spent a lot of money, but that is mainly about building a foundation to kick on over into next season or maybe the season after that as well. So I'd be very surprised if we, did another promotion this season.
But you never know.
You do never know. But obviously there's quite a few players now who are in a position where they could go back to back because they're playing for another club. So in a way that Andy Cannon's done that. So Andy Cannon's done 4 promotions in a row because he got promoted with Stockport, then came back to the National League with us, and then he's done 3 in a row with us. So Andy Cannon's done 4 promotions in a row.
I think he's another one that will be going soon. And that one is just so hard to...
I know. That's a horrible one.
Yeah.
But that hasn't happened yet, so let's not... We'll get to that at some point. I'm sure we will.
Andy Cannon's left by mutual consent.
I'm sure it is. It's like we've signed a player for an undisclosed fee, or a player's left by mutual consent. It is literally 2 things that are on the Wrexham AFC bingo card, isn't it? Really. Look, Danny Ward is obviously out for a while. For anybody who didn't know that, sorry to break your heart, but he's going to be out for a while. So we have signed a young Irish goalkeeper. His name's Ruben Egan. So he's 20. He is our new 3rd choice goalkeeper, ultimately. Arthur's 1st choice. Callum is 2nd choice, and he is a 3rd choice because most clubs have 3 goalkeepers in their ranks. So yeah, that's it. We've signed him. We don't know very much about him. He was at Tranmere for a few months last season.
No club this season.
Until now.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Until now. I'm more than happy to be corrected. I don't think he played any games for Tranmere last season. So I think he was very much sat on the bench as like a backup.
Which is exactly what he'll be doing here.
He'll be
hopefully
he'll be the backup to the backup here. So he is literally third choice.
6 months. Which I'm guessing, it's a 6-month contract.
Yes.
I'm guessing that's what they've possibly predicted for Danny Ward to be out. And then obviously he's going to need to come back. Well, maybe not. It's basically, I think, because he's having an operation on his elbow because he dislocated his elbow.
Yeah,
I believe.
And so it was ligament damage plus dislocation as well. Is basically what happened to Danny Ward.
So I think operation on that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I nearly choked then. Operation on that, and then obviously recuperation, physio, back to training. Could be longer than 6 months, you don't know, but I'm assuming that this is why they've got that Egan in.
To bolster the ranks. Yeah. I think we've heard it's definitely next year that Danny's back. So
it's September.
Yeah, I know.
We haven't got much left of the year.
We don't. But
the
we have a
Christmas
few
countdown
months.
is on, fellas.
Yeah, so deadline day incomings. Start with Ben Sheaf. So pretty much leaked by Ryan Reynolds inadvertently on his Instagram account. So Ryan started following Ben Sheaf just out of the blue.
If there's ever
a random championship player, he just starts following him. I think everyone knew what was happening.
If there's any rumours about players coming to us, go on to Ryan Reynolds' social media, have a look who he's following.
Go to the latest.
And if they're there, then they're coming to Wrexham.
Pretty much, it was. So I don't know if Ryan realises he's doing this, but he pretty much leaked it. That's pretty much what happened. Ben's 27 years old. He's signed from Coventry for an undisclosed fee.
6.5 million.
We all know.
Apparently.
I think everyone's reported. Everyone apart from Wrexham have reported it as 6.5 million. Wrexham have reported it as undisclosed. Look, we've mentioned this before. There's a very good reason why the club do that, and the reason for that is we don't necessarily want
none of your business.
Yeah, it's pretty much we don't want people knowing what we are paying for players, how much money we've got, how much money are we willing to spend on this caliber of player. Oh, okay then. But next time in January, we think this player is a little bit better than this player that you paid 6.5 million for, so we're going to demand 8.5 million from it. That's why clubs don't want you to know, but it is out there pretty much in the world. He's a central defensive midfielder. Matty James, basically.
As much as I like Matty James, I think he does have a few mistakes in him, and I don't think he's as fast as others. He's good at what he does, but I just think he's defensive, isn't he, rather than attacking. I don't know. Is this Ben Sheaf? Is he
same? Yeah, same position. I think you are right. I sort of feel I've never been a huge Matty James fan, but this season I felt like he's been on fire. I thought he's been great this season. But as you rightly say, he's a little bit slow. And when we've got ripped apart in the past, Stevenage springs to mind. I think we lost 3-2 at the racecourse, didn't we, last season? And they had Dan Kemp, and they'd figured out a way to play against us, where basically Dan Kemp sat on Matty James's shoulder
not literally.
No,
metaphorically.
When the ball went into the middle, he'd peel off one way or the other, get in slightly behind him. They'd play the ball in behind Matty James, and Matty couldn't get back. And it was like it was almost like I say, like a blueprint of how to play against Matty James in midfield. Yes, he doesn't have a lot of pace, but central defensive midfielders don't tend to have bags of pace anyway. You don't get, they sort of sit in the hole, and they're sort of direct play from where they are. So, I wouldn't say they're the fastest. Ben Sheaf is not the fastest either.
Oh, bloody hell.
So, that's sort of the position, really. He had his youth career at West Ham and Arsenal. He's been at Coventry since 2020. How
long of that was that he injured?
Well, we'll get to that. He's made 177 appearances. He's missed 31 games through injury over the last 3 seasons. So that's an average of 10 games a season, which isn't ridiculous. Also not great. But yeah, I think the worrying thing for me was there was a definite pattern in the messages and comments from Coventry fans on X and Facebook and all these. I will paraphrase them all into one sentence, which was, he's a great player, but he's made of glass. That's pretty much what... I've never seen the sentence or the phrase "made of glass" so many times to describe a signing. So he has had his injury problems, and because of that, he's fallen down the pecking order a little bit at Coventry. So they've got 2 guys in midfield. One of them is Torp, and the other one I can't. His name won't come to mind.
We're just naming colours.
No.
Violet.
No. So he's very much behind them two. In the, so he's not getting as much game time. He's only got a year left on his contract. So I dare say Coventry was sort of rubbing their hands together a little bit, sort of going, yeah, he's a really good player. He's been a good servant for us, but he's only got a year left on his contract, and he's not really getting into the starting 11 at the moment. So yeah, so 6.5 million, I think they're more than happy with that. Have we overpaid for players during this transfer window?
I have no idea, Ryan, because they've all been undisclosed.
Yeah, but we all know what we've paid. I do. The only reason I ask is because of who we are and the perceived money that we have, that maybe we overpay for players at times.
I mean, like in the 30 millions now.
Yeah, we are up there. Yeah. We are up there if the figures are to be believed, because as you rightly say, it is undisclosed. So yeah, I don't know.
Who knows?
Fun fact: he scored against us when you remember when we went to Coventry in the FA Cup and we beat them 4-3.
Is that a fun fact? It's a
fact.
I'm not sure it's a fun fact.
Fact? Do you want a fact? He scored against us in a 4-3 win. When we played them, he scored their first goal.
Maybe the first goal, not so bad, really.
No.
It would be the last one that you'd be like, oh, get out of my face.
So, yeah, I'm excited to see what he's like, because great player.
He's just made of glass.
Yeah, I know. That's the worrying thing. It's the injury side of things. Our son was quite impressed that we'd signed him for 2 reasons. One, he's got a gold card in FC 25.
Okay.
No other player in the Wrexham squad's got a gold card. They're all silvers and bronzes.
Didn't it go down though?
That's for the next game. Don't need to worry about that.
Right, okay.
He's gold currently at the moment in FC 25.
Right.
And the other thing, he knew who he was straight away, because Ben Sheaf had a Team of the Season card in FC 24 last season. So our son knew who he was. Yeah, very obsessed with playing FIFA. But yeah, so I'm excited for this one. It's a name that I know well, that I've seen play. I've watched Coventry quite a bit. From what I know of him, a great player. We will just have to wait and see how it pans out for us. As with all of these, we'll just have to wait and see.
So the next one, I can't even say this name.
Issa Kabore.
Issa Kabore.
Issa.
Issa.
Yeah.
He's 24 years old. We signed him from Man City. He's only on loan, though, until the end of this season. He's been at Man City since 2020. He hasn't made any first team appearances for Man City. He's had 6 loans, including Marseille, Benfica, Werder Bremen,
Bremen.
Bremen.
Werder Bremen.
I should know
You
that.
lived in Germany for years, and you can't say Bremen.
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 I would say Bremen.
Werder Bremen, yeah.
Yeah. Luton. And so Luton when they were in the Premier League.
Yeah, so he has played for some big clubs.
Benfica.
Marseille, Benfica, Werder Bremen, and he's played. He hasn't made an appearance for Man City, but he has played in the Premier League for Luton on loan. So he's a player. This isn't just some.
He looks like a character.
Yeah, we talked about this the other day, didn't we? Not about him specifically, but I think you called somebody, he's a bit of a character, and I said to you, is when I was growing up round here,
Yeah.
if you said someone was a bit of a character, that meant they were a lunatic, that they were crazy. And to be fair to him, he does look a bit mad.
we were watching Education Yorkshire.
We were, yeah. And he does. I would agree. He looks a bit mad
In a good way, though, not like in a bad way.
In such a good way. If you'd have told me, have you seen that rapper wearing the Wrexham shirt? I'd have gone, yeah, because he had like these leopard print pants on.
Oh, they were summing.
Yeah, and then
he had vibes.
He had the baseball cap on, and he was sitting with like his leg over the chair. I tell you what one of the coolest players we've ever signed, I think. He just then, I could just imagine him turning up, and they were going, right, okay, we need to do the photos and all this, and he goes, are you going to take the leopard print pants off? And he's like, no.
Yeah, they don't go with the shirts.
No, but he just looks, he looks like a cool guy. Look, he's made 50 international appearances. He's from Burkina Faso, and he's made 50 appearances at 24.
Where's Burkina Faso? Sounds Portuguese.
It is not.
No.
It's in Africa.
Oh.
I think it
couldn't be further away.
You could. I think it's West Africa, Burkina Faso. I'm don't quote me on that, but I think maybe West Africa. He looks. I don't know. We've got 5 wing backs at the club now. Like we mentioned before, Kakache and McLean on the left. You've got Kabore and Barnett on the right, with Longman, who can play on the right or the left. So we got 5 there. I'm excited by him because he just looks like a bit different, and obviously he's not first language English. We haven't had many over the years. We have had quite a few international players.
Yeah.
Okay. I think at one time we had 3 Trinidad and Tobago internationals playing at the same time for the club. So we have a history of international players. But in recent times, apart from Mendy, we haven't really had any international players. So I always find it quite exciting when you've got someone a bit different.
It kind of feels like when you've got somebody from another country playing for your team, it's like you've kind of hit the big time.
Yeah,
and you've got that money to kind of pay for those international players.
Weird, isn't it? Because you're dead right, because we grew up in so obviously we're 80s children, and when I was watching football, and the football that you would have known from like the 80s and early 90s, we just didn't have international players. It was you'd watch a club and everyone who played for them was English, Irish, Welsh or Scottish.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how it was. And then sort of early 90s, we had this bit of an explosion of like international players coming over. And I think it's, for me and you, it's like maybe a little bit of a hangover from that, from like the childhood, when you sort of go, oh, international, exciting. We've got an international, and he is an international. Do you know what I mean? He is, he's played 50 caps for his country at 24 is insane. So yeah, excited to see whether he goes straight in or not, I don't know. You know, it's an interesting one. We'll have to wait and see on that one. Last one of deadline day was Dominic Hyam, or Dom Hyam, 29 years old.
Never heard of him.
No, okay. 29 years old, signed from Blackburn, again, undisclosed fee, rumoured to be about 2.7 million. Central defender, youth career at Reading. He was at Coventry for 5 years, from 2017 to 2022, made 192 appearances for them. 3 years at Blackburn from 22 till sort of present day. Well, just before present day, because he plays for us now. He made 135 appearances for them. He played predominantly in a back four at Blackburn, which we don't do. Ours is a back 5 or 3, however you want to look at it. But he has played on the right side of a 3 before. Okay. Which is where Max plays. Now, you go,
Nah.
Okay. Oh, hang on. I'm not disagreeing with you, right? Max has had a storming start to the season. He really has. Okay. But, and you sort of go, okay, all right. Based on the information that we've just signed Callum for the left-sided position, you know, from Man City. We paid, you know, decent money for him. You know, he's stock. He's there. You've got Connor Cody. He's got your Premier League experience, lots of Championship experience as well. He's set in the middle. So now we brought Dom in, and then you realise that Dom is very much a back four sort of player, but can play on the right side of a 3. And then you go, but that's where Max plays, and you go, oh, okay. So he's been brought in to as like a backup to Max sort of thing. Yeah. So Max will play, and he's his backup perhaps. But then you sort of delve a little bit deeper into his stats. So last season, he played. Obviously, there's 46 games in the Championship, okay? Dom Hyam played every single minute of them 46 games for Blackburn. He did not miss a single minute of the Championship season last year. He played every minute, okay? This isn't a player who has, okay, there's 46 games in a league season. He's played 34 of them. He's been on the bench for 10. He missed a couple through injury. He came on as sub a couple of times. There were a few of the appearances. He shared the first, you know, the starting 11 with a couple of other centre-backs. No. He played week in, week out, Tuesday, Saturday, every single minute of the season he played. So then you have to start asking yourself, why has he come to us? Why has he come to us? Has he come to us to be a backup to a 23-year-old? Or has he come because he very much feels like he's starting games in the same way that he has for the last... I mean, 192 appearances in 5 years for Coventry. So let's say 200 in 5 years. That's 40 a season, give or take. Blackburn, 135 in 3 years. That's about 45. That's 45 a season. And last season, he didn't miss a minute. This isn't a player who gets... Based on that, I haven't looked too deep into it, but based on just simple maths, that's not a player who misses many games at all. And
well, he didn't miss any last season.
It didn't miss any last season. So
I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that.
Wealth of experience.
Yeah.
Wealth of experience. So I suppose my question to you,
Max, I don't know.
Wasn't my question.
No,
It's like, what is our back 3 now?
Cody in the middle.
Okay, so you're happy with Cody in the middle. So you wouldn't consider dropping Cody for this new Dominic Hyam. You're happy with Cody in the middle. There's no reason that you can see to take him out. Please don't think there's anything behind this question. I don't have an answer for this. That I am just
I think I'll stick with what I know.
Stick with what you know.
Cody.
Callum on the left. Callum Doyle on the left. Okay. And then Max on the right.
Yeah, and then Hyam can come on midway through.
Okay. All right.
But I've got a feeling
Yep.
it's going to be the other way round. Dom's going to be starting 11.
Yeah.
Max is going to be coming on as a sub.
I think the point to make here is
We have no idea.
we don't have any idea because we don't know what's in Parky's head. And I think the other thing to sort of think here is if Danny Ward was fit, which we know he's not, but if he was...
Oh, but he is fit, though.
If he was fit, we could legitimately field a completely different starting 11 than we had at the last game of last season. We could legitimately do that. We could have Danny Ward in goal. We could have Connor Cody in the middle. We could have Callum Doyle on the left of the three. We could have Dom Hyam on the right. We could have Issa Kabore at right wing back. We could have Libby Kakache on left wing back. You could have Ben Sheaf. You could have Lewis O'Brien. You could have Dean Windass, Nathan Broadhead, and Kiefer Moore. I started to sweat a little bit that I wouldn't be able to remember them. But none of that 11, that could legitimately be our starting 11 now. Apart from Danny, obviously, we know is injured. None of them played for us last season. That's how heavy we've gone into this transfer window. We've gone big in this transfer window, and time will tell. How do you feel about signing this many players that aren't just, oh, we'll sign you to be a backup to you, you to be a backup to you? We've signed 13, bang, starting 11 players. I know that sounds stupid, 13 starting 11 players, but, they could all start. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about making that many changes from one season to the next?
I think needs must. Going into the Championship, I think Parky's obviously making not rash decisions, obviously, because there's obviously tactics behind it. I just think Parky knows what he's doing. I think we do need to improve our team sheet. Well, we don't now. We've done it. We've done that.
Are you happy with the business we've done?
Yeah.
Or do you think anything's missing?
Do you know what? When I first started going to Wrexham games and stuff like that, and seeing like the likes of Luke Young, Callum McFadzean, Hayden, JJ, or all the OGs leaving, it sort of like broke my heart, especially when Luke Young left. I was just like devoed. But I think I've realised now that to progress, that's the right word, isn't it? To progress, but it's not progress.
It's progress. Yeah.
To progress in the Championship, or whatever league it is, you have to. What's the saying? You have to accumulate.
Speculate
to accumulate, and I think Parky has done just that. Whether he's
lots of speculating. Lots of accumulating.
Yeah, I just think I think he means business, and I think you can't knock the guy for trying to do what's best for this club.
No, it is very much a time will tell, I think. It's a lot of players to integrate into a squad. And you've basically, you're sort of ripping up a team and you're starting again from scratch, and it's a difficult thing to do. To get that right balance and that right mix.
They've got to gel with each other again.
Yeah, I know.
Time to gel.
And, I don't know.
I don't think this many, in January, I don't think there's going to be as many. There's possibly going to be more people going.
I think we'll see a couple more in Jan.
Maybe a couple more, but not like to the extent of what we've had in the summer.
No, you never do in January. That you do in the summer.
Everyone's broke after Christmas, aren't they?
Brilliant. That is the best thing you've ever said on this podcast. Look, Bruce said, I was already well chuffed with the window. This is the whipped cream on top of the dessert. Koatar, with all our signings, as an Australian, I was hoping Phil would go for an Australian international that's signed for Watford. Right, here we go. Nestori Irankunda from Bayern Munich for only €3 million at 19 years old. He is a bargain, or he was a bargain, because he's gone somewhere else now.
Del Boyd. Sheaf is an outstanding player. Leadership potential sense. Great application to the...
Positional, that says, sorry.
What did I say? Potential.
Potential sense.
Sorry, my eyes went a bit...
Potential sense.
I just thought it sounded completely stupid. Sorry. My eyes went a bit blurry and it looked like potential.
You're not going to pass out, yeah?
No.
No.
Great application to the DM role.
Defensive midfield.
Thank you. Add to that the young player at right wing back who's played at Olympique Marseille and Benfica. We have a baller. We have a corker. We have a baller. The guy is super quick and very strong. Can't wait to see him play.
Yeah, Sydney said, utter madness, what a transfer window. And I think that sort of sums it up, that last one. It is a utter madness to think that we've spent, from rummaging around the back of your sofa trying to find some change to put in a bucket to help us build the sort of transfer kitty to bring players in, to spending 30 million in one single window is mind-blowing. It is mind-blowing, but that's where we are now. I don't know. It's crazy.
So also this week, the squad has been announced.
Yes.
So initially 24 players have been announced at this stage. I'm assuming this is a statement.
Yes, it is a statement.
So this is what the club said. We have opted to initially name 24 players at this stage, providing us with the option to add a further name as needed.
Yeah, so 25 players can be named. We've only named 24 at the moment. So Barnett, Broadhead, Brunt, Burton, Kakache, Cleworth, Cody, Dobson, Doyle, Hardy, Hyam, James Kabore, Lee, Longman, McLean, Moore, Okonkwo, O'Brien, Scar, Sheaf, Smith, Thomason and Windass. So who missed out? We had Jay Rodriguez. I think that's the end of the road for Jay, isn't it? I know he's been injured. I don't think anybody can, hand on heart, say he made a huge impact when he was here.
I think he scored 2 goals all in all, did he?
I think so. One was he missed the penalty and then put the rebound in, and the other one was a penalty.
Yeah.
Nothing from open play that I can remember. Very short-lived career at Wrexham, but I can't see a future for him here, if I'm perfectly honest. I'm surprised.
So weird, isn't it, when you're like, oh, Jay Rodriguez, look at him signing.
I was so excited.
Mental.
Yeah.
And then it's like...
Bit of a damp squib.
Yeah.
Danny Ward is obviously been left out because he's injured at the moment. We don't know. He could be out for a few months. He
will be back though.
He'll be back, but you're not going to name a player with a long-term injury in your 25-man squad.
Yeah.
Andy Cannon is obviously missing. He is still on his way back from that horrible injury that he got in Mansfield last season. Although he is doing better, he's not included. Ollie Rathbone's missed out. So our understanding is that Ollie's injury is a lot worse than they first thought it was. So Ollie isn't really in a position where he is on the cusp of coming back, which is why he hasn't been included in the 25-man squad at the moment. But like Siân said, we do have a spare space to add another player. Whoever that might be somebody who's already at the club, or that could be a free agent that we bring in that we could slot into that squad.
So if we've got one more place, and we have, let me just get this straight. So we've got one more place. So if we had Ollie Rathbone coming in, which is likely,
that would be that 25th spot.
And then obviously that Egan goes, we will have a spot for Danny Ward.
No, because Egan's not in the squad.
Oh my God, well that means that we can't...
No, wait. Right, because somebody... Right, so I'll answer this. So another person that I saw a few people being confused about wasn't in the squad was Harry Ashfield. Okay? And people are like, well, why isn't Harry getting a space? He's been on the bench for a few games. He's played in the cup. Why hasn't he got a spot? So Harry Ashfield's only 19 years old.
Oh, yeah, so you don't need to name him.
So you don't need to name him in your 25-man squad because it is only players 21 and over that need to be named in your 25-man squad. Ruben Egan, who's come in, is only 20. So we have signed a young goalkeeper knowing that we don't have to name him in a 25-man squad. So I hope that answers that for anybody who was wondering why Harry Ashfield wasn't in, why Ruben Egan that we've just brought in hasn't also been named. That is the reason why.
Still doesn't answer my question about...
What was your question?
The fact that we've only got one space left.
Yes.
But we want Danny Ward to come back and Ollie Rathbone to come back.
Yeah, but I think based on that, I would, because you can rename your squad in January.
Okay.
So based on that, that obviously means that one, if not both of them, are not going to be back until at least January. Because if the medical staff were talking to Barkey and going, I think Ollie's going to be about a month, I think Danny's going to be about 6 weeks, then maybe you might name them in there, or maybe you might leave 2 spaces free, knowing that they're coming back in. But based on the fact that there isn't space for both of them, that means either one or both of them are not going to be back before January.
Okay.
Yeah?
As long as they come back, I don't mind.
Okay. Look, it's been international break. Wales beat Kazakhstan 1-0 thanks to a goal from our man, Kiefer Moore.
So bizarre.
On his 50th appearance for his country. He scored 5 goals now in his last 4 games for club and country, which he's on a rich vein of form, I would say. So, yeah, 50th appearance. We only won 1-0. We were expected to score a few more. Obviously, I'm wearing the Wales shirt, one of the old Wales shirts today. Yeah, it wasn't the greatest of games. Probably should have won it by more, but we didn't. A win's a win. Take all of them. USA, so obviously we're recording this on Saturday. USA are playing South Korea after we record this, basically. Australia played New Zealand, so obviously Libby Kakachi should have played in that game, but he didn't end up travelling.
Yeah, he decided not to himself.
Decided to not to.
Not sure why.
No, I think he's just come back from injury, hasn't he? So it's probably a case of going, look...
You'd rather be fit for league games.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Australia won that one 1-0 thanks to an 87th minute Maximilian Ballard goal.
What a name.
Canada beat Romania 3-0. Wales are also playing Canada in an international friendly on Tuesday. I think on Monday. Can't remember. That's bad. But yeah.
Tuesday.
Issa Kabore played the full game as Burkina Faso beat Djibouti 6-0.
Wow.
So that was his 50th cap, obviously, for his country. Scotland drew 0-0 with Denmark. Dom Hyam travelled with the squad, but didn't make it into the matchday squad. So I've picked a few out there. Obviously, we know what our audience demographic is. That's why we've picked certain ones out. And obviously, there's a few that involve players at the club. That's why we've mentioned them. We did ask last week whether all of the new fans from sort of Australia, America, Canada would now be following Wales and cheering on Wales, and we got quite a big response. So we've put a few of them in. So Rebecca Johnston said, Canadian fan of Wrexham, and I'll be cheering for Kiefer and the rest of Team Cymru. Somebody did ask, and I do apologise, they asked, how do you pronounce Cymru? And I was going to reply, but then I didn't really know how to write it that it would be understandable, from reading it. So whoever you were, sorry, I can't remember who it was, but it's Cymru. Cymru? The best way, if you like Cymru, that's probably the best way and easiest way, but it's Cymru.
Cymraeg.
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 Yes.
Shemai.
As you can probably tell, Sian does not speak Welsh.
Yeah, I only know the very basics.
Yeah, you do. Erin and Mochi got in touch. Is it Mochi? Mochi. Sorry. I'll be. They said I'll be cheering the Wales from Maryland. Who else did we have?
Them there be hills.
Yeah.
Australian. I follow all Australian Socceroos via FOTMob. FOTMob. Been great to see numerous reps in the championship this year. Kept track of the Gambia when Mendy was called up, and will also track Wales for Kiefer even this window. Apparently Kakache has withdrawn from the Ashes double header versus Australian. I was tempted to temporarily follow New Zealand if he did play, but would have avidly cheered every move he would have made.
Yeah. It's a big one. Bruce McFarlane, even though Team USA has got a few too many prima donnas and plonkers to be real enthusiastic about it these days, I am still going to cheer for Team USA in international football, but I still have a barracking interest in the Socceroos as I first started really watching world football in Oz in the late 90s, and for Grenada, where I taught for 2 years in the 80s, and for the DRC in Africa, and I didn't have any real barracking interest in any UEFA side. So I'm happy to cheer for Wales in UEFA competition or elsewhere, so long as they are not playing Team USA or the Leopards or the Socceroos. The odds of Wales playing the Spice Boys is so low, so I don't really have to worry about it.
The Spice Boys?
So the Spice Boys must be Grenada, I am guessing, or DRC. Sorry. So the Leopards would be... Oh, I don't know. DRC are probably the Leopards, and I'd say the Spice Boys are Grenada. If I was guessing.
Spice Boys.
Love it.
Jay from Upper East Side, Hawk. To answer Ryan's question, this shirt is now part of my collection.
Sorry, I didn't include a picture. It's basically it's a Wales shirt from the 90s. So.
In my life owned and I've never in my life owned a USA national team shirt. He is American,
yes.
by the way.
yeah.
It's my hope that Wales qualify for next year's World Cup, as is ours.
Yes, definitely. Mitch wanted to chime in as an American interested in the Wales national team. We were shouting for you guys during the last one, and we'll be cheering for Wales in their games again next year, unless they play the USA. Then we have a problem. Yes, yeah. I'm sure we do. We had a question this week as well from Sharonigans. You're very patient with dumb questions from relative newbies, so here's mine. Why can no one else on the team do what Kiefer does? He's tall and he's wide and very skilled, but at the end of the day, he is a man running around, kicking, jumping and heading a ball. And we have lots of men.
True.
We have lots of men who are very good at that now. So why is the system assumed by everyone to completely fall apart if Kiefer pulls a hammy? What exactly makes a target man different from the rest? Thanks and apologies for the stupid question. Look, we've always said this. No question is a stupid question. You only know what you know.
Exactly.
And, you know, we're more than happy to answer this. Now, the best way
He
to...
says we. I have no idea.
Right, it's about speciality, I suppose. It's a case of going, yes, you know, all the players on the team can run, can kick, can jump, can do all of these things. But as you grow up and you learn and you learn your craft, you will learn it in a certain position. If you were to go into surgery, would you rather that the surgeon has been doing it for a week, but has all of the general skills that needed, but has only really been doing this specific surgery for a week? Or would you rather go to Guy B, who has been doing this specific surgery for the last 15, 20 years? That's the sort of best way I can describe it. You would always go for the guy who's been doing this specific surgery for the last 15, 20 years. And it's the same with football. You know, Kiefer Moore has been playing this target man. Probably he's a big guy, you know, and he's probably got chucked up front when he was 10, 11 or 12 because he was bigger than everybody else, and they're going, we're going to hit the ball up to you and you win it in the air. You're strong, you defend the ball, you bring other people in. So he's probably been doing what he's doing now for the last 20, 22 years, and that's why he's so good at it. Look, if you were to chuck somebody else up there, if you chuck Connor Cody up top, yeah, he can header the ball, but he's not used to doing what Kiefer does. So Kiefer's honed his craft over a long number of years, and he is excellent at doing it. So that basically is the reason why it's horses for courses. I think really it's you learn a specific thing over a number of years and you become very good at it, and it doesn't always work if you just throw another random player up there. Well, I'd say it doesn't always work. It just wouldn't, because they wouldn't have the skill set. Although they have, running, jumping, kicking, sprinting, all this sort of stuff. They're just the basics of football. There's a whole tier of skills required to be in each position, and Kiefer possesses them for what he does for us. So I hope that answers the question succinctly enough that it makes sense. Yeah, so there we go. Carabao Cup news. So our third round fixture against Reading at the Stoke Cry Ras has been decided that it will take place on Tuesday, September the 23rd at 7:45, when I will be working, as I always am. Are you going to go?
Don't know. Might speak to your dad. My mum and dad will be on holiday, so I definitely won't be going with them. But yeah, I might.
Why not?
I might.
Treat yourself, innit?
Yeah.
A quick one about the Wrexham AFC women as well. So Wrexham AFC women 25-26 season tickets are now on sale. The adult season tickets are priced at £25. The junior season tickets are priced at just £5 for the season.
It's mad,
Crazy.
It
So
is mad.
look, highly recommend that people pick them up because they're such good value for quite a few games that you get to watch there. So yeah, brilliant. I suppose one last thing, the Wrexham Sports Trust tweeted to confirm. I'll read the tweet. They said the Trust are delighted to report that Sheffield Wednesday FC Trust are to receive £37,500 from the profit of the gold shirt sales. In addition, we are proud to announce that the club is matching this amount with a separate donation to Wrexham Mile Hospital. Diolch. I think that should be Diolch yn fawr iawn I bawb. So yeah, so they've basically they've raised.
You get that from Google Translate.
I'm not sure.
An incorrect Google Translate.
Yeah, but yeah, that £37,500 for the sale of all the gold shirts. That's amazing.
What was the donation? Was it Sorry, my mic's just gone. Was it like all of the money, or was it like 50% of it?
I very much think initially it was reported that it was the profits from the sale of the shirts. Judging by the amount, I think they've just given the full amount by the looks of it. Because
unless we sold a lot of shirts.
Yeah, I can't imagine we sold that many shirts, if I'm perfectly honest.
No, but well done, everyone who bought one.
Yeah, look, let's talk about our game on Saturday, shall we?
Yeah, so we are playing QPR at the Stoke Kairas. It's our fifth league game of the season, and it's on Saturday the 13th of September with a normal 3 p.m. kickoff, and looking for our we had a win away at Millwall, so we're looking for our first home win of the season.
Yeah, we need
happening
that
on Saturday.
We need that to kick us on, don't we?
Yeah, so they were founded in 1882. They are based in Shepherd's Bush, West London. They finished 15th in the Championship last season on 56 points. This is their 11th straight season in the Championship since 2015. They were regulated. What is wrong with me? They were relegated from the Premier League in 2015. Last games that we played with them was in the 03/04 season in Division 2, which is now the third tier.
No, it's always been the third tier. It was the third tier. Not now the third tier, it was the third tier then.
Oh, my Christ. And we lost 2-0 at home and away. The nickname is the R's, Rangers or the Hoops.
Yeah, let's not get into the whole hoops.
No, let's not. They play in blue and white hoops.
Hence the nickname.
Yeah. Same as us, their last league game was also their first league win when they beat Charlton 3-1. Before that, they lost 7-1 away at Coventry. That was just a mental game, that was.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
They're currently 18th in the Championship on 4 points, so same as us. So predictions, Ryan?
Tough one, this, but I fancy us. I think.
Do you fancy us?
Yeah, I do. I really do. I think I saw something against Millwall, a bit more of a steely determination that I'd seen in previous games, especially in the second half. It felt
Which has
like
been quite rare.
it has been lacking in the other
Yeah.
games, and it felt like we really dug in on last Saturday against Millwall. So I'm going to go for a clean sheet, and I'm not going to just go for the 1 goal. I'm going to go for 7. No, I'm joking. I'm going to go 2-0
It's
Wrexham.
possible. I'm going to do a clean sheet as well, and I'm not going to do much above you. I'm going to do 3-1.
3-1.
3-1.
Okay, that's fair enough.
A guy in work said to me, he came into the office and he was like, you need to have a bit more faith. He said, what's all this about a draw? He watches our TikTok.
Yeah.
When we do our predictions. So I'm going with 3-1.
There you go. So 2-0 for me, 3-1 for you.
Mm-hmm.
I do feel confident going into that one. Let's see how quick that disbands and dissipates out of me. Look, if you would like to support the show, then you can buy us a coffee, and you do that by visiting buymeacoffee.com/me-the-wife. Couple of people to thank this week. Greg Bollane, thank you so much. He said, finally a match won. Looking forward to this next pod. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much, Greg. And we've got a second-time donator. We got Rampant Wasp again.
Love it.
Finally caught up with last few episodes on the M5 by Bristol. And as we won last weekend, the drink is on me. Plus, you made me famous. Thanks for the effort, guys. Appreciate, as always, your insight, Mr. Wasp.
That's really weird.
Why?
Because it's just one letter away from your name.
It is, yeah.
Strange.
Yeah. It's your name as well, but whatever.
Yeah, well, mine's not by choice. Actually, no, it is.
It literally is by choice. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So if you would like to get in touch, you can comment on YouTube. You can click contact the show on the podcast that you are listening to. You can also contact us on Blue Sky, X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, or you can email us at methewife@gmail.com.
Quick shout out for Dragon Chat. So it's a mental health peer support group. They run 2 weekly Zoom calls. One is on a Monday at 8 p.m. and that is for women. The other is on Thursday at 7 p.m. and that is for men. The best way to get on these calls, if you go to the Wrexham AFC website, go to the communities tab and scroll to health, you'll find Dragon Chat in there. You can also find the details of how to get on there in the description of this video or any video that we have on YouTube. If you're listening as a podcast, it would really help us out if you do 2 things. One, if you rate the show. So if you're listening on Apple, just give us a little 5 stars. That'd be brilliant if you could do that. If you only ever listen to the podcast as a podcast, why not head over to YouTube? Just like and subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to 1,700 subscribers at the moment. We're really kicking on at the moment, so it'd be nice just to get a few more. Yeah.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends. Tell your mama.
Tell a friend.
Tell your mama. Tell your dad. It's a lot. I don't know. Sorry. Anyway, quiz this week. I have done something. We wouldn't be where we are today if it wasn't for the listeners.
No.
They've done a lot for us. They tune in every week. So I've made a quiz out of them.
This is going to make me look really bad because I am so bad
Not
at remembering
really.
names.
I'm not sure I could answer most of these. Some of them maybe. Okay.
What the hell are we doing it for if you can't answer the question?
No, it's sort of a bit of a guess. Some of them might twig something in your memory. So basically, I am going to read out a YouTube comment.
God.
And then I'm going to give you 4 listeners' names. And you have to tell me which one of them 4 said that comment. Okay? Type that comment wherever you want. Now, we always do a quiz. It's out of 5. Okay?
This one's out of 100.
This one's out of 6. And I'll explain why. It's a very good reason. I miscounted. But then I didn't know which one to take out. So there's 6 this week. Okay?
Okay.
Understand the rules.
Yes, Ryan.
I will go ahead with the first one. They predicted that the slow guy with the man bun will be the first to score. They were talking about Stephen Fletcher. Little did I know I was married to a clairvoyant. Was it Ian Dougal, Sarah Murray, Andy Jasper, or Dean Roberts? Now, just before you answer, I will say I have some of these comments I have slightly had to adjust because maybe they mention names or they mention something that might give it away. So I've slightly altered them, but 99% of it is still the comment.
I'm going to go Sarah.
You're going to go with Sarah? You'd be correct. That was Sarah. So as an example, that I've changed that to they said. What it actually said was Kevin said. And I thought that would very much give it away. So I changed it to they.
Would it have given it away?
I think it would have, yes. Because we've met Kevin. So you don't remember? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. Question 2. I am glad Wrexham have not spent millions. Because...
Oh, Sarah's husband.
Yes!
Sorry. Yes, I know who Kevin is. I was thinking that you... I thought you meant Kevin, somebody at the club. That's why it didn't twig. But yes, I've met Kevin. Lovely guy. Carry on.
I thought you looked so confused. I was like,
who's Kevin?
We literally sat and had a drink with Sarah and Kevin.
Yeah, but I didn't twig that you were talking about Sarah's Kevin. I thought you were talking about Kevin Mulholland.
Right.
The physio, doctor-y type person at the club.
Okay. All right.
But anyway, I do.
You.
Yeah.
Why you would think that is absolutely insane.
It is insane, which is why I've just cleared it up.
Okay.
Anyway.
That is fine. Number 2. I am glad Wrexham have not spent millions. Because if Birmingham fails to get promotion, financial fair play will cripple them next season. Was that? Who was glad that Wrexham haven't spent millions 12 months ago? Was it Kent Gulliford, Dale Webb, Chris Rouse, or Neil Walker?
Let's go Kent Gulliford.
Wrong. That was
Darn
Neil
it.
Walker who said that.
Darn it.
I wonder if he's happy that we've spent millions this year.
Let us know, Neil, if
know.
you still watch the programme.
Yeah, if you still do. Number 3. Parky is a stubborn and peculiar manager. Peter, Adrian, Christian, or Bruce McFarlane?
Ooh, it's between 2 people.
What's your 2? Show
Bruce
your workings out.
McFarlane and... Oh, I don't know, it might be Christian. I'm going to say Bruce McFarlane.
Okay. It was Peter who said that in a comment. Yeah, no, sorry.
Peter.
So how many have you got? 1?
Yes.
1 so far. I commented on your first episode and take the negative comments back. It has been fun watching Sian's journey from knowing nothing to a valued opinion on all things Wrexham. Is that
My dad.
David Middleton, David Williams, David Thomas, or David Jones?
David Williams, not my brother.
No.
No, he wouldn't say anything nice like that. David Thomas. going to be David Middleton.
It's David Williams.
Oh.
Yeah.
Darn it.
Number 5. Henceforth, I shall call them Bristol Street Rovers.
Oh.
Sounds much better. I'm with Siân on this one.
I love that they got the Torbach over the A as well.
I wrote that. Sorry, it was me who wrote that. Yeah, sorry, it wasn't on there originally. I had to retype these. So, yeah, I should have just left it and just said, yeah, they did. So this was a great idea for a quiz, right? And I thought of this quiz took me 3 hours to put together because I've read through nearly all of our comments ever. But
over 3.5 years of podcasts.
So I am not doing this quiz again. Okay, so was that J, NYC, Mad Al, Ben Parker, or Damo Tobin?
Ben Parker.
Ben Parker? Absolutely not. It was J.
I give up. I actually give up.
Yeah, maybe it's better you do. Last one. Siân, definitely do a live. You are great. And we all don't need Ryan butting in all the time. I'm sure he will correct us all on next week's episode. Love you, Ryan. Rip off that Band-Aid, Siân, and you'll do great. Was it Drew, Sky, Chaz, Eric?
Drew.
Okay,
Chaz.
Chaz. Stick it in.
Would Chaz say something like that? Chaz would say something like that, I think. But I'm going to go with Drew.
That's such a mental process. Would Chaz say something like that? Yes, definitely.
Get into the next thing. Why isn't it working?
Because it can't. Your cheating fingers cannot cheat. What are you going for? Drew. You're wrong.
It's Chaz.
It is Chaz, yes. You literally went, would Chaz say something like that? Yeah, Chaz would definitely say something like that. I'll go for Drew. Mental. Absolutely mental. I think we've obviously done a longer episode than normal this week. You got 1 out of 6, by the way.
Way.
Yeah. We've done a longer episode than normal. I think so obviously the light around our signage, I've now sussed it that it only lasts about 1 hour and 7 minutes.
Oh, so is it flashing now, is it?
No, it's gone. It's just gone off.
No,
so
it hasn't.
it sort of has. So it's got about a 67-minute shelf life. That
when you buy tap
rechargeable.
from Temu, innit?
Pretty much, yeah. Not the sign. The sign hasn't gone.
Oh no,
from
the
Temu.
sign was not from
The
Temu.
lighting that we put behind it is very. No, it's from Amazon, I think.
Still.
I know. Look, I've quite enjoyed it this week. Talking about all the new faces, and isn't it mad? We've managed to do an 80-minute episode on a week when we had no game. Just goes to show, doesn't it?
Do you know what it goes to show?
I'll talk about anything.
You'll talk about anything, and yeah. So
look,
yeah,
we're going to wrap it up there because I am absolutely starving, and we are going out for dinner. We're taking advantage of no game, and we're getting ready, and we're gonna go out. So really hungry. So
we're so rock and roll on a Saturday night.
So rock and roll. We've spent the day buying cushions and throws.
Oh, but they're such lovely cushions, though.
They are quite nice. I'm quite into them, but I'm not sure.
I'm quite into them.
I am quite into
the cushions that we've bought.
I'm not sure anybody listening is into them though.
Oh,
having not seen them. Maybe stick it on Instagram, see what people think. No, don't do that.
They are beautiful.
Don't do that. Right, thank you very much for tuning in this week. We will see you again.
Who would like to see our new cushions? Let us know.
See you next week. Bye.